It's live.
There we go. All right, cool. So wait 1 second here.
Sure.
So that if anybody is planning on joining, it gives them a second, considering I'm a few minutes late getting started, which is pretty much sums up my life. That, and hopefully you can't see the crazy background because my kids and I are here doing schoolwork.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Kids, animals, partners,
Yep.
all working in one space.
How old is your son now?
He's 10.
Oh, so you have the same thing. How is that been
Yeah.
going teaching?
I mean, it's
Not teaching,
going.
but helping him.
It's going. It's not the easiest thing to do, and I find that the organization of the schoolwork is a little weird. So
I agree. It's I mean, I'm sure teachers are learning too the best ways.
Yep.
It's the fact of, oh, come on, show me where we're live here. Oh, there we go. I see you. Okay, perfect. So we will get started because I know that we all have time constraints, but I was excited to do today's interview with, each week I'm interviewing a small business owner, and this week I wanted to bring in someone who I think traditionally a lot of people would consider that the type of business that we're going to talk about is mainly a brick and mortar business. At least I thought of it that way. And I am going to ask her to share about what her company has looked like over the last number of years and how she has transitioned the company. She's going to share a little bit about, she was already thinking about it, but then this unexpected circumstance happened to all of us who are in Pennsylvania, but across the country. And so without going too much further into that, I'm going to introduce Jen DeRosa. And so I think you guys can see her too there. And Jen has a Pilates studio. So I'm going to let you, Jen, just kind of introduce the business that you created, how long you've owned it, how it operates, where you're located, if you don't mind just giving that background.
Absolutely. So my business name is Inner Balance Pilates, and we are going into our 19th year as a brick and mortar, which is great. 19 years. So I started when I was 22. And then as a one-person show, slowly built my team. And at this point, we have 9 instructors.
Wow.
So my business model up until this point was about the brick and mortar experience, a little bit of higher level of rate for people, but you're coming in, you have the max people would be 6 people. So it's super personalized.
Yeah.
And so when this all happened, I sort of over the years had thought about this big shift into like trying to reach out into the online world. I've built a bit of a following online, purposely thinking, at some point I'm going to want to use this, leverage these people. But I just hadn't done it. I sort of was, I don't know. I wasn't sure which direction I really wanted the business to go. And I had started doing some things outside of the Pilates studio as well. But when COVID hit, I realized, I hadn't gotten to the point where,
right,
what is this business going to do if the doors are shut? I just hadn't gotten there yet. So it sort of fast forwarded me warp speed into, okay, well, now's the time to take the opportunity and figure this out as quickly as possible. I closed my doors before the mandate because of what I do. So I shut down on Saturday, and I had set up the free classes starting the next day. So
what does that mean you set up? So you made a shift online, and I will show everyone Jen's Instagram account and her website just so you can kind of get a feel. When you said you went online, offered free classes, is that for like someone like me would take Pilates classes, right? So I'm a customer. Is that who you were, trying to attract, or?
It was twofold, right? So I thought to myself, I need to continue the community that I have already grown, right? So I want to give them something. I don't want them to feel left out or just forgotten about. But then I said, what a great opportunity for me to meet a whole new group of people, right? So I
Yeah.
created a private Facebook group immediately. And I think within a week, we had almost 480, something like that within the private group. Yeah, within
So
a
the
week.
private group, and did that stem mainly from Instagram? Because you've got a nice following there.
Yeah. It was on Facebook. It was a private Facebook group.
Okay.
It grew from, I think a lot of the Instagram people might have jumped over, but also just local people on my Facebook pages. They've invited people. And so, yeah, I started doing complimentary classes, and, you hear back and forth, you shouldn't give your services away for free, this, that, and the next thing.
No, you have
And
to.
you know what? Yeah, sometimes we were all so shocked and emotionally just, I don't know, paralyzed, that for me, it was for myself, it was for them. There are a ton of people hurting. And so I felt like everyone deserves to do something that makes them feel good right now.
Right.
And so that's just was my decision to start that way.
In the private group, anybody could come in, and that's where you started doing the free classes, right?
Exactly.
And then have you been able to turn it into another revenue source, in the sense that these people will take other court classes with you if it's online, or when the order opens back up? How does that work?
Yeah. So right away, I knew that wasn't going to be the end all be all of this group. It is sort of, here's the lowest hanging fruit. What can you offer them beyond what they're getting? Now they know who I am. They can trust me. They know my personality. They know what my product is. Mm-hmm. And so within that first week, also built, basically I joined an online platform to offer pay group classes, pay privates, but then we also did it through our own MindBody account. So now we're teaching, and MindBody is a software program that we use a lot of yoga studios, Pilates studios. But so right now we're offering semi-privates, privates, group classes to not just our current clientele. We're offering everyone anywhere in the world can take our classes, which was not happening prior. Right. So I joke around.
I could have our company, because we're always thinking of different things, and we've talked even about bringing a yoga instructor here, but I could have you do it, since we have different locations and different people, and we could all come in and take a Pilates or yoga class, right? Is that?
Yep, absolutely. So it's all using Zoom technology.
Okay.
So beyond the Facebook Lives, I mean, Facebook Live is Facebook Live, but all of the other platforms, including MindBody's new platform and this other platform that I use called Core to Core, it all uses Zoom technology. Everyone needs it. But I can see every single person who joins my group class or my private. They can interact with me. It's been really, really, really fun, and great to, like I said, have a few people. I have a woman in Sweden who takes every class. I have a couple in Scotland that take every class. And so whatever's happening now is not just for now, right? So what's happening now is, like you said, a brand new revenue stream. It's going to take me so much further.
Right.
So I don't plan on shutting my brick and mortar. I would love to get it up and running again, but this is going to be an add-on for my current clients, and a great way that you can take a couple of extra classes at a lower cost. But also it's a whole new world for me with the outreach. I can reach to anywhere.
I know we talked a week or two ago, and that was when I asked you if I could interview you, because it's something that, my business partner and I have been working on, and that's kind of the next thing I was gonna, start talking to you about, because I think it's really hard when you own a business and you're so used to like what you do, like you see it as this is the only, like, this is what I can do, right?
Yeah.
And it's really difficult to think of all the other ways that you can grow your business and how you can offer value.
Yes.
And that's why talking like this is so helpful. Like when we talked a few weeks ago, I had mentioned some other things that, that you can keep incorporating into it, and things that we've been trying. And so I think for businesses out there, right, how can they, and I was going at this and I start going all over the place, but you should be so proud of yourself, because I think when COVID hit, it's paralyzing for a lot of people, right? Like I know it, I've had to fight off like that nervous feeling,
right,
when each thing that happens. But it's also why there's so many uncontrollables in life. I've learned that this is COVID, but there have been other things in my career, and I'm sure you've had things that have happened that like just takes you out of like if you are out of the equation, is your business still going?
Right. And that was where I was for the past 3 years. I was building this brick and mortar so that I didn't need to be there at all. And I'm now back into it a lot, but it's going to be a stronger version at the end of this. I also think, you know, I forget where I was going with this. I had something so great to say. And
it'll come back to you. It will.
I don't know. You were talking about being paralyzed, but I know what I was going to say. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, specifically, are driven, right? We are high intensity. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves.
Right.
And what's very strange is when this first happened, I remember the conversation in my head saying to myself, this is your one time that doesn't matter if you fail. Like, literally, doesn't matter. You have a free card to fail. Like, and I wish more people thought about that right now, because
explain what you mean by that, so that
I guess what I mean is, normally I would maybe be more afraid to try something new, put myself out there, because I didn't want to have everyone see me do poorly or not well enough, that kind of thing. Or if my brick and mortar were to fail right now, would it hurt my heart? Yes. But I've been able to logically think to myself, is it the end of the world? You know, is it really? And probably not. It wouldn't be, not that that's the goal. But it's the first time in my life that I realized I've been given carte blanche. Like, here we are. Here's anything you ever wanted to try, do it. Just do it. So,
and just try. Yeah, because it's keeping the doors open. And we had talked for a minute about, you know, restaurants that, like, they were one of the first ones, right, that got closed, and other businesses. So for other businesses out there, you know, I wanted to start kind of talking about some of the other ideas that, you know, maybe both of us haven't tried all of them, but there's so many other ways that you can expand your business.
I agree. Right? I think,
so many ways.
And I think what's important too is what makes a big difference in people who are going to make it through this period is reaching out, right? You and I are talking right now, not being afraid to ask. You know, I reached out immediately to someone who I admire huge in my industry, never thinking she was ever going to respond. And she did. And
like,
she
somebody you never talked to.
Never talked to her. I've been following her for years. I just said, hey, I love this. What is this? And she got me started. She got me fast tracked into the platforms, things like that. You just never know. And you never know who might have an idea for you. It just because I own a Pilates studio, I've worked with small business owners over the past 5 years, very, very, basically in a strategy type business. It doesn't matter. Just because I own a Pilates studio doesn't mean I don't have a great idea for a restaurant or for, you know, for you guys. You just don't know. You need to talk. You need to stay connected. So.
Yep, I agree. And I think sometimes I feel like it's one or the other. Like, there are times when you have a great idea and you don't want to share it because you want to try it, or like you're afraid you might fail at it. But on the other side, that's how I've been able to think differently sometimes, is I've been fortunate to go to, I don't know, conferences or events, and there's other industries, and you hear what they're doing and you're like, I could do that in a different way. And I thought about this, one of the industries I was going to bring up, because this is one of the ones that I think that some of them are probably like, what the heck, what else could I do? And for industries, real estate, for example, right? Like, the real estate industry has really gotten hit with this, because not only are they like, they have to sell local for the most part. They're licensed, kind of like we are with loans. They're more localized. I can do, you know, when we were licensed in PA, we could do loans all over the state, but let's say a real estate agent is usually where they can drive, right?
Yep.
And so I thought about that a little bit for any service businesses that are more localized. Like, what are some of those things that a real estate agent could do? Because the governor came out and said, all right, for real estate agents, I think the date was like March 18th, they said you can no longer close these deals. Like, they don't want the appraisers going into the houses. So it's kind of trickling down to the whole industry. And so I have felt so bad for the industry, because there's absolutely nothing they can do. So the only thing that somebody in that industry could do would be, all right, what can they offer what kind of value can they offer? And I wanted to kind of show your website here because I noticed this, and I know you're offering the free classes. I'm going to see if I can share this because it looks like you said you're doing consulting to other businesses, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have been for quite some time.
But can you share a little bit about that? Because I'm sure that there's agents, right, just using that one industry,
right,
who have a lot of experience or they have a very specific experience. And how could they then offer that to other real estate agents, maybe who are new, or if they're new and they're young, maybe they're really good at social media, or, you know, so can you share that a little bit?
Sure. It really just grew out of what I love to do as a volunteer. Honestly, it really is just something that I've been doing for quite some time and decided, well, let's start industry specific. Do you know what I mean? And really start working with people who are either in the Pilates or yoga realm in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I've worked with people from different industries. But basically, I personally, my method might be a little bit different than others. I don't work with people longer term. I'm more of a 3-month, the word coach is one of those things with me. I don't love it, but
no, I know.
And so it's basically a very organized way to, within 3 months, you can really only change one thing, you know, so we work together to determine the one thing that would aid in their growth. And so that's kind of my method. I've worked in a couple of different ways. Like I said, it's a newer thing for me within the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Just sort of learning my own craft. What is my style? But we start with what I call an intensive. So we'll work together for about 3 hours and we sort of determine, we whittle down what is the actual one thing. And then we keep in touch and we meet more regularly in shorter bursts and hopefully create something that either they haven't been doing that they should have been doing, or something new and creative that will help them grow going forward.
And how did you, like, what the first person you started working with, how did that come about?
All through my Instagram, which is funny. I started to get people from all over the country, you know, they watch you and they see a successful studio. And so they'll ask you a lot of questions. And so they all started very organically. I don't market for this at this point. It was in my game plan for this year to start marketing this a little heavier. However, yes, they all honestly came from direct message, which is really funny. Instagram direct message. Can you help me through this? You know, anything from I've never held an open house. Can you help me with the open house? Or I need to shift out of this studio and I have this attachment emotionally and I want to open my own. There's a million different things. But you know, it could be, like I said, just a strategy thing, or it could be just some help with their marketing. You know, I tend to be more, my interest is more on the marketing side, but.
Same. I love the marketing part. Well, and I truly feel like it doesn't matter what type of business you own. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't consistently market your business, people aren't going to find you, right?
Absolutely. It's a very, very labor intensive thing to continue marketing.
Right.
You know, I think, and it changes a lot, you know?
Yeah. And so I brought up, I think everyone should be able to see, I pulled up Jen's website for her company, and it's ibpilates.com. And when you go there, which, you know, like she shared, she for years has taught classes, but now, you know, she is an expert at this, 19 years. And, you know, I mean, you know, we all know the statistics, what most business, after 10 years, only like 23% of businesses are still standing.
Right.
So, you know, kind of beating the test of time and, you know, showing like how, you know, you do start pivoting. And I think it's something that a lot of business owners I've noticed, like in our age group, like we kind of get to this mid-career crisis, I've been calling it.
Oh yeah.
Because we enjoy what we do. We know that we're good at it, but you want something different, right?
Right.
And
I just think entrepreneurs too are always just learning, wanting to grow into a different direction. You know, we were creative beings. We want to do something different, you know?
Yeah. And so I love that you're doing that, and that, you know, and you found it through, now I did pull up too, so I could bring it up, your Instagram, your Inner Pilates. Let's see right here. So this is Jen's Instagram account, which is Inner Balance Pilates. I follow you, so I wonder why my computer doesn't.
I don't know.
Or maybe I was on your personal account. See?
Maybe, yeah.
And what's the importance? Maybe I'll ask you this because you obviously are more active and do a great job on Instagram. Why is it important to have a business profile and a personal profile? Because I think a lot of people struggle with that, because when they start their business profile, like nobody knows you, right? Like, how do you get people to actually, like, what's the difference in what you post?
Well, mine are very different. In fact, for a long time, I didn't have a personal one anymore. It was just too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I opened it back up. But as for business accounts, you can do a lot more. You can promote things if you want to. That's basically it. And as you and I have talked about, it allows you to do more when it comes to affiliations and things like that. To me, that's the major thing that's a difference between a personal and a business account.
Yep.
You can do all of the same things in your profile, that kind of thing. And you and I also talked about a couple of weeks ago why I don't have all of my links up. And I'm purposely pushing only my virtual work right now. So in my profile, it doesn't have links to brick and mortar things anymore for the moment. And so we did the same with my website. So right now, if you were to go into the Pilates part of my website, it just says we're virtual, because you really do have to be simple enough for people to see exactly what you want them to see at the moment. Yep. And, you know, we've all seen websites. In fact, mine, I constantly want to change it, you know, so it's more clear, more concise. So now this is all you see. They've taken away everything else that we offer just for the time being.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It's request introductory session so that they can get in touch, meeting you. Yep. And okay, here's your staff, your team.
Yep.
And are they doing virtual classes as well yet?
So it's been a little slower with them, mostly because it's very industry specific, but most Pilates instructors are not employees. Okay, so it's like a contract type business, independent contractors. So a lot of them, this is their part-time job, their side gig. So when all of this is going on, it's easy to say, don't worry about me, worry about the one who needs the hours. So I have such a wonderful team. Not that I wouldn't want them all to be working, but I know their kids are home and they have all this stuff going on. And so there's 2 of us currently doing the teaching. Okay. I've offered it to everyone else. I think eventually they may start, but for now, we're good with 2.
Yep. No, so it's perfect. I mean,
we're going to work out the kinks. You know, there's a lot of technical stuff that we have had to learn over the past 5 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, same thing. Even I think this is the 3rd week I've come on here to the CoLab, and it's one of those things, like, I've used Zoom a million times, but I've never used Zoom to go live so that I can see you, see me. And it's like, and I don't know which button to click. Right.
Yep.
It's hard. One of the other things, and I don't know if you do this or not, but I wanted to bring it up so that if anybody who's listening now, or if anyone listens to this on the replay, so we kind of talked about how you can take your business online, right? And that was something we started doing as well a few years ago, was not just marketing directly to the Erie market, but across the state. Then there's also getting new products, right? So when we expanded our business last year, we did residential mortgages, and I said, you know, I want to really diversify. So we ended up starting to do commercial loans, business loans, and we had to start a new company for it, even though it's all under our umbrella. And that's what kind of made me think about, for you, if we use the example of the real estate agent, we all have products that we like, right? Don't you have products you like? And Absolutely. So that's another way that businesses could generate revenue, is by the products that they promote.
You're exactly right. And so we had talked about that a little bit, that with my online shift, I created some guides, right, that people could get for free that will assist them through the whole thing. And I think I mentioned that part of that was, these are the pieces of equipment you should have to create your at-home studio, and this and that. And so you and I had that discussion about how to become an affiliate and how to leverage that kind of thing. And we also talked about how funny it is that brands these days, it's more about the person and less about what you're doing. They want to know who you are. because if they don't trust who you are, they're not going to buy from you. And so we talked about people want to know everything from what shampoo I use to what's my under eye cream. They don't. I mean, they're taking Pilates, but they're really more interested in the rest of it. So,
well, I want to know your cream too. If I can have long hair and like I said, you look awesome.
I appreciate
get on that routine.
It's called stress. No, I'm kidding.
No, but it's true. And the thing that amazed me once I started looking, because I don't know, and maybe this is true or not true, and I'm curious. Like, so there's it's called affiliate marketing, right? Like you can actually sell products, right? Like you can. That's where the whole drop shipping and e-commerce, like you could actually sell the product, right? But then you're buying the product, you're making sure it's in a warehouse, which that could be an option for someone. Like it is something that you could do, and you just have to think about how it connects, because you could buy those products, or if you're like, I don't have the time for that, then if anyone doesn't know what affiliate marketing is that, let's say you use, I don't know, you use Mac, right? Then what you can do is almost every company on this earth, like literally almost every company, and there are definitely ones that you can't, but the price of the product when it's in a retail store, for example, it factors in all the costs that they have to market their product. And so one way that a lot of companies like to market is if somebody uses their products and they have a business, then you can get a small commission on the products that people buy that you're recommending. And I know some people, or I don't know if it was even, if you feel weird about it, but how long did it take you to figure out the right products?
Right.
Like how many years and how many things did you have to waste your money on to figure out what the right one was?
Right. I mean, this is the influencer marketing era, right? Which is another topic. We could talk about what they're feeling right now, because I'm sure that this is the first time they've ever felt that their lives have changed. But yeah, I think it's so interesting. And I don't know that enough people know enough about like the affiliate codes and things like that. So it'd be great to have some sort of quick webinar on that, Megan.
I could arrange that. And actually, if anybody does affiliate marketing, do you know who the #1 affiliate? I think I should be careful saying things that I don't know I'm not 100% sure on, but from at least the people I've met who do it, the #1 company, I should say, that pays out affiliate marketing. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
It is Amazon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we all use Amazon, and Amazon is such a behemoth that they originally started back when Amazon came about. And I want to say the affiliates were like 20% or 15% of the sales. And now literally this year, I think the first quarter of this year, they said that the affiliates are selling over 55 or 60% of the products on Amazon. And it was a week or two ago, they announced that they're going to be cutting a bunch of their affiliate payouts to people. But it's been one of the tried and true ways that businesses, that you could do it with products, with books, with, I mean, literally anything that Amazon sells, right? Anything.
Yep.
And then even there's other companies that you can go check out if you have a business, and it's almost like they're a mall of affiliate products, right? There's some of the big ones out there, like, have you ever heard of ClickBank? Or Rakuten? It's like Rakuten or something.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because I took a class last year. It was like a 90-day training on speaking. And the woman who runs the class, because she speaks full time, right in there's an affiliate link, because for her, that's the best way, is for me to talk about her class.
Mm-hmm.
And then she pays an affiliate commission if anyone comes to her and takes her course.
Yep.
So it's been really interesting for me too, kind of figuring out all these different ways.
Sure.
So we talked about, like you said, going online, creating groups within social media, reaching people, affiliate marketing. And then one of the other things I noticed on your website, which is something that we started doing, except we haven't launched it yet because we got really busy with other stuff. But do you have a podcast, or are those just podcasts you support?
Those are just podcasts I've been on. Yeah, I don't have one.
Got it. Okay.
I don't, at this point, I do not have the time.
Come on. So I didn't realize it's kind of one of those things. It's another way that, so we originally, when we expanded, opened up the commercial division and we've recorded and are releasing here very soon, our first season of the podcast for small business owners. And, you know, it was fun. It was really fun. And we enjoyed it a ton, like recording them. But we've changed the name 3 or 4 times, and you can also produce an income on a podcast, right? Like you were saying, consulting with other business owners, ways that they can expand their business, grow their business that they're not doing currently.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing. And I think for most people, it's finding that niche of what they're good at.
Right.
And then utilizing it and figuring out where you're comfortable, because like you said, it's scary and you don't want to fail at it. And I feel like, I don't know if you've done this, but like, I'm always like, should I name it this? Should I name it that? Should I do this? Like, I don't know.
So I can give someone else the best advice in the world, but when it comes to myself, I will fret over a name or a color or a logo or my branding forever. It's interesting how difficult it is for yourself. And so that's one of the reasons I hire coaches. I look outward for help on those things, because I get super stuck because again, the pressure thing, right? I sort of wanted to be perfect. And this situation, this COVID thing has made it so it doesn't have to be perfect. Authenticity is important. It's a constant reminder to just be yourself, and that it's okay if it's not 100%. But I think you, like I said, you have to connect with other people and be okay with hearing their opinions and their ideas, and not being immediately, no, I've already done that. Or, you know, you just got to be open.
Yeah. And I'm going to like follow that up with, so if anyone who watches this or listens wants to start exploring how they can kind of grow in a different way with their business, right? Different product, different something they sell, if it's service product, where would you recommend that they start learning how to do that? Because it's overwhelming. I mean, I always coaching, right? Like no matter what business is out there, like what do you start searching for?
Well, so honestly, I think that you need to do market research, like whatever industry you're in, you need to know what everybody else is doing. And I don't say that because you need to be doing exactly what they're doing, but you need to figure out who you are, what makes you special, or what you like about somebody else. What did they do that you like? What kind of marketing works for you? You know, I love getting a handwritten note or something like that in a package. So I know that I'm a more personal brand. You know, I want it to feel that way. Whereas a lawyer or a more professional service wouldn't probably talk to their people the way I might. So I think, again, researching people in your industry, figuring out who you enjoy the most, emulating some of it, you know, just kind of trying it out. But also, I mean, I think you also are big on going to different types of conferences and networking events. And I don't do a lot, but any of the ones I've ever done, I learned so much and I find such great connections. And every single person I've ever worked with personally as a coach for me has come from that type of interaction, because you don't know from a page necessarily if they're the right fit. And if you work with someone and they don't have a good onboarding system and they're just going to take everybody, I don't know that they're a good choice.
Right.
So,
and I think you're right. Like, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to figure out which wheel you want to try to start rolling down the hill, and then find out who, like you said, you reached out to someone who was using a platform, right? That you wanted to use. And like, I've always gone to all these mortgage conferences. Well, when we started doing recording the podcast and doing the commercial stuff, like we went to a podcasting podcasting conference, so that we could start hearing what other people were doing, right? And understanding, okay, if we're going to take, X amount of days away from our mortgage business on those days, how can we at least replace that income?
Right.
with like us podcasting, how can we offer value? What do we need to do? And that's why I reached out to you. I mean, we've known each other for a number of years, but when I started seeing you doing stuff in a completely different industry,
yeah,
I reached out. And because you're right, like if you just stick in your lane, you're not going to learn anything, because 95% of people are doing the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I agree.
Doing that, and I know you need to, you have a class here, so we've got about 5 minutes to wrap up.
I think I just wanted to make a comment about what we were just talking about too. It's very, I think we were talking about adding value. Anything you choose to do should add value, should add revenue. It should. Right. And I can't tell you how many businesses I am either with on a professional level or working with one-on-one that are doing so many things they don't need to be doing. So I think
could be one of them.
No, but you're trying stuff. But I think, you know, right. I've seen, for a quick example, I've seen a technical business on Facebook, right? And showing pictures of the staff birthday parties. And I just, you know, I say to myself, well, who's your customer? And when they clearly defined who their customer was, Facebook was not the place for them to do any of their, you know, marketing. So LinkedIn was a better spot. Their marketing could be better targeted. So I think it's important too that you understand some of those things, and it's hard to do without other people around you.
Right. And if they, now you don't have anyone who works for you full-time doing marketing, correct?
No, that's my favorite part.
So you do all your marketing.
Yeah.
So how I started doing marketing before we hired a full-time person who did our marketing was that I couldn't afford much, right? Like I knew I had a very small budget, but I ended up going and finding a virtual assistant. Like start writing down, for anyone who is not online, like start making a list of the things that you know you need to be doing in your business, but you're not quite doing yet. And if you don't have the time for it, there are very affordable ways that you can get the help that you need. I wanted to mention that there is a little guide that we created that will have the link in the comments, and it's 5 ways to get your business online. Just, you know, it's the idea generation, and then finding out what platforms do you use? How do you do it? I love that you reached out to someone you didn't know and they shared with you, here's what you use.
Yep.
And I love that you do your marketing because it's so important. And no, go ahead.
No, that wasn't, I think I just made a noise.
No, that's okay. No, and I'm excited to see the things that you're going to keep doing. And the only question I had for you is, you created that separate business account on Instagram, and I don't think I ended up asking you. So then on this, or is your goal still, and for anyone listening, is it still the customer, right? Is everything outward facing for the customer? And in essence, it attracts other people who own studios because they see what you're doing?
It's a little bit of everything. Yep. So I market specifically almost as a personal brand with a little bit of what I do at the studio. So empowering, positivity, videos that show exactly what we do technically, who I am. Yeah.
How big is videos?
Yeah. So I feel like any good account like this, you should be able to look at it and know exactly who this person is within a second or two. Okay, she owns a Pilates studio. She's got a son and a husband. That's, you know what I mean? I think it's really important these days in my type of business to be open about who you are in multiple ways. So it's personal branding as well as business branding.
I love it, because this is not my area of strength. I have a hard time posting like what I'm supposed to be posting. Like I need help with that, but you're very good at it. And I love that you're doing videos. Videos is huge because people get to know who you are a lot quicker.
And they definitely, it takes, and that's another thing, you know, we could do a whole webinar on how to get better in front of a camera, because I'm an extremely shy person, and it just took a million times doing it over and over again to feel a little bit better.
How do you get when you post your videos on Instagram, like when I posted mine, they're like black. How do you get them? Is it like a thumbnail for Instagram? I don't even know.
What do you mean?
Like when I posted ones that when I post videos, it doesn't show anything on the feed. I'll have to show you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm talking about, because yours actually show the
video.
Yeah, like it shows, it almost looks like a picture, but you can tell it's a video.
Yeah. I
because
have to look and see what's going on with yours. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know either. Like I said, it's not
It's
my,
not ideal.
I'm getting there. I'm learning Instagram. I mean, gosh, and then I see everybody getting on, what's the newest one that everyone started getting on?
Oh, TikTok.
TikTok.
So
Yes.
I was trying TikTok before COVID, and then COVID hit and I said, I don't have time for TikTok.
I think you do well on TikTok though, because
Oh, I tried a couple times. I think it's for the young bucks and Jason O'Neill, if you know him.
yes, no, I do. I do. And some people, I mean, you have to be creative, funny, right? Like
Yep.
I'm a little more serious and intense, but
Mhm.
I really appreciate you letting me, interview you and just kind of poke and prod with different questions. If anybody wants to find out information, join your Facebook group. Where's the best place for them to go and do that?
Um, Anything with Inner Balance Pilates. So we have a Facebook page for Inner Balance Pilates, and you can join our private group via that.
Okay.
I can't link the private group; it just won't let you.
That's all
So
right.
you do, yeah, you do have to go to Inner Balance Pilates Erie, and then there you should be able to join private group IBP VIP, and that's how you would access. Yeah, that's how you access the free classes and the replay library. So at this point, we've housed, I think there's maybe 25 or more videos that you can actually go back in and replay when you're ready. You don't have to watch everything live. Over time, we're going to transfer that off of Facebook for legal reasons and lots of other reasons into a video on demand. We're working on that now. But right now, that's the place to get it.
Awesome. So I will go, and it's just Inner Balance Pilates Erie, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to go put the link in there so
Okay.
that, and I'm going to have to try one of your classes now.
You are going to, like I said,
am.
they're there for the taking.
I'm going to do it because I've been trying to get back into things after the babies, and that would be awesome. And then the last thing I wanted to say before we jump off is next week I am going to have a accountant CPA who's going to be joining me. And there are a few tricks for small business owners that can save you a tremendous amount of money. I know we all know the general basic stuff that you can write off, but there's some stuff that a lot of people don't know. And there's some tricks that you can really use to be strategic. So we're going to be going over, very specific strategies for saving yourself on your tax bill. So
Cool.
yeah, so thank you again. And I
thank you so much. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. I mean, it sometimes does take a conversation to realize that you're making progress, because we sort of get into the wheel of just moving, pushing. So
yeah, I love it. I love what you're doing. I love that we talked. I want to make sure I talk to you every week because I love where you're where you're
that's
going.
good.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You should be proud
thank
of
you.
yourself. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Have a great class.
You too. We will.
All right. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for anybody who joined or who came on after, and shoot us a message if you have questions or need anything. And the link will be down there. We'll link Jen's studio, and I will also put the links that we mentioned in here to her page, and also for that 5 ways to get your business online. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday at 4. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Megan.
Bye. All right, now I got to end this thing here. That's